This being your third season, it seems like you've been a lot more assertive or spicy this year.
Spicy? I don't know, really spicy. That's good. I mean, I feel like for me, it's just my approach. It's just coming in and just trying to be dominant in anything the team needs. And so if that gives off spicy, which I really don't think it does, I feel like I'm like kind of quiet. Spice? No, I just know it's spicy. But yeah, I feel like that's just been my mindset, is just coming in and just being the player that I need to be for us. Whatever that looks like, it looks like.
What does a locker room motto, a big win, and a playoff spot have in common? For the Indiana Fever, everything. Their 94-65 win over the Washington Mystics was more than just a game, it was survival and fight in one. And right in the middle of it, Aliyah Boston said something that has her teammates buzzing and fans wanting to know more. What did she say? And why has it become the mindset carrying Indiana into the playoffs without Caitlin Clark and 4 other injured players? If you're hyped for the playoffs, comment Fever Playoffs.
Oh, Dubs! How we clinch, baby! We can't! W. Playoffs!
Bow!
Yeah! Playoffs, baby! Mitchell in transition. Lays that up and in for our first bucket of the game. Sims off the cross again into the paint, lays it up and in.
Let's go. How does a team lose half its rotation and still find a way to push forward? That's been the Fever story all season. They didn't just lose players, they lost key pieces. Caitlin Clark, the sophomore star meant to lead them into a new era, went down after only 13 games with a torn groin. Sophie Cunningham, Chloe BBY, Sydney Colson, and Ari McDonald all suffered injuries too.
When you think back to the beginning of the season, if someone were to tell you, like, this is where you would be, and this is your team, like, at the end of the season, like, genuinely, what do you think your reaction would be?
Probably no stinking way. I don't think, thinking back to the beginning of the season, that anyone would have ever foreseen it going like this.
That's 5 important players gone. Most teams would collapse. For Indiana, it became the ultimate test. Think back to the start of the season. If someone had told you this is what the Fever would go through, would anyone have believed it? Probably not. Clark's injury was the hardest to swallow. She was averaging more than 6.
Even if things looked like it got harder, for us it was about sticking together, and I think through everything you're able to see that, us play with joy, us play together regardless of who's on that.
16 points and giving fans hope that the playoffs were within reach. When the news dropped that she was out for the year, the shock wasn't just in Indiana, it spread across the basketball world. Fans who filled Gainbridge Fieldhouse were left wondering how the team could keep up without her. Analysts quickly said the Fever's season was done. But the team decided to lean on each other.
For whatever reason, things happen, and you've got to continue to put your best foot forward. You got to continue to stay the course. This group has been forced to grow strong roots, and teams can go one of 2 ways when those things happen. You either use it to pull you together and as motivation to continue to get better and do it for one another and do it for your teammates that have been lost to injury, or it pulls them to
each other. They kept saying it was about sticking together, playing with joy, and giving everything no matter who was on the court. And it wasn't just Clark. The team looked different almost every week. At one point, 18 different players had suited up. It felt like
when I look at this group, I'm just so incredibly thankful for the type of people that we have in this locker room, for the way that they have been able to continue to stay the course and bounce back and stay together, to pull for one another, to really be flexible enough to make space for different types of teams that we've had throughout the course of the year, and to continue to put ourselves in position.
Revolving door, Odyssey Sims jumping in, She Petty taking minutes, Aerial Powers finding her role. It wasn't smooth, but it was survival, and survival doesn't usually end in the playoffs. Coach Stephanie White made sure it didn't break them. Even
Howard off the window, the bucket, and the foul. Petty three, knocks it down again. Lost the handle, gets it back, gets right to the hoop, and she drops it home.
Fever 94, Mystics 65. Indiana's in. And now you know, despite all the adversity, this incredibly resilient Fever team is going back to the playoffs in 2025.
Even with a short roster, she didn't panic. She simplified the game plan, cut down rotations, and told the team to focus on what they could control. She didn't hide from the problems, they became part of the team's identity. She reminded the players how tough they were, and they believed it. White said she was grateful for this group, for how they stayed together, supported each other, and kept fighting no matter who was available. Instead of falling apart, the Fever grew stronger. The Indiana Fever turned heartbreak into a 29-point win on the road against the Washington Mystics. It wasn't just a game, it was a message to the whole league. This win locked their spot in the playoffs and proved that even without—
And more than anything, y'all, big picture-wise, this group, there would have been so many teams that would have folded with all we've been through. And we just kept getting better, and we kept getting tougher, and we kept becoming more resilient, and we kept figuring things out, right? Like, we've had like 7 new teams throughout the course of this season. and no matter what, we've been flexible, we've been accountable, we've put each other in positions to be successful, and we've continued to put one foot forward and stayed the course.
Caitlin Clark, this team has more than one way to power forward. The first half didn't look like a blowout. Washington came out strong, forcing Indiana into tough shots and keeping the score close. The Fever's offense wasn't sharp early, and you could feel some tension. With Clark, Cunningham, McDonald, BBY, and Coulson all out, people were asking if Indiana could hang on.
Don't know what she's going to do. I mean, she's so crafty with her shot decisions. Howard right to the hoop high out the window. And she's slicing through that paint. Angela back tapped it. It ends up with aerial powers inside. Howard off the window, the bucket, and the foul by the rookie all-star Sonia Citron. Howard quickly back the other way, time back at 30.
Or if the game would slip away. But the Fever stayed steady. As Coach White said, many teams would have folded after everything.
Olsen had to stay home because she had an occupied side. In terms of a cutter in her area, she stayed. Petty three, knocks it down again. Flip it. She's just such a solid stabilizer for Washington. Howard right to the hoop, lays it up and in. Fourth foul on Austin. Boston down low. Double tongue, drops off to Howard, who lays it up and get loose. Mitchell three off the mark. Long rebound ends up with Sims. And Sims, nice pocket pass. Boston foul line jumper.
And just when it seemed like the Fever would need more scoring to put the game away, Aerial Powers surged off the bench with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Looking—
Boston got that rebound. Here's Powers. Lost the handle, gets it back, gets right to the hoop. There she drops it home. 8 on the shot clock here for Citron. So free screen that. And then they got the switch they want. Oh, couldn't get it in. Tough turnover there for Washington. The loose ball collected by Dolson as Citron brings it over half. Powers in the passing lane. No one to beat. Lays it up and in. See if they can get back to that and connect plays and stack possessions with that level of effectiveness. Play. Here's Paul. Guarded by Citron. Hanging, fading, kicks off the glass. My goodness. Be better served. Maybe 4 out, 1 in, and have them take turns with it. Oh.
They faced. Indiana didn't. They kept getting tougher, more resilient.
Sims is also back for the Fever. Here's Petty in the corner. He knocks it down. Dave Petty also spent time.
And more connected. By halftime it was still close, but the third quarter changed everything. Indiana clamped down on defense and shut Washington down completely. The Mystics.
Alicia Clark and Jade seamless with the philosophy and culture and playing with joy as being the top tier point of emphasis there. Mitchell in transition lays that up and in for our first bucket of the game.
Mystics scored only 9 points in the entire quarter. Every pass was challenged, every shot contested, and suddenly the Fever were in full control. The lead kept climbing, past 20, past 25, and at one point up by 33.
How do you guys? I mean, this was, we owned them in the second half. Hell yeah! 27 total points we had them to in the second half. 27 points off of turnovers? Hell yeah! And we took care of it, only 7 turnovers for us. A complete team effort, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double figures. I mean, it was just all really good stuff.
Natasha Howard led the charge, scoring 17 points and attacking the rim over and over. Aliyah Boston added another double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds, locking down the paint. Aerial Powers came off the bench with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, giving the team energy and fire just when they needed it. And it wasn't only the stars. Lexi Hull threw.
Aliyah, just through the adversity that you guys went through this season, especially maybe in August when people were going down left and right, did you guys feel like this was always possible to make the playoffs? Did you ever have moments of concern or doubt? And what allowed you guys to just keep, the eyes on the prize more or less? Yeah, I think, just being someone in this locker room, you never doubt yourself and what you're capable of, no matter what happens. I think the entire staff, up to the head, just made great decisions when people went down on who to bring in, the type of people to bring in. And that was really our mindset. We never doubted ourselves. We never doubted that we could be in the playoffs. Even if things looked like it got harder, for us, it was about sticking together. And I think through everything, you're able to see that, us play with joy, us play together, regardless of who's on the
herself into every hustle play, diving for loose balls, pressuring ball handlers, and turning defense into fast breaks. Everyone found a way to contribute. The Fever closed it out 94-65, locking their playoff spot with toughness, teamwork, and a next woman up mindset. Every player who stepped on the floor made an impact. Shea Petty was perfect from deep, hitting all 3 of her shots from behind the arc. Even with a cold shooting night, Kelsey Mitchell added 10 points and kept the backcourt steady.
Get into their offense. You see Jade Melvin getting that defensive assignment on Mitchell. She picked her up pretty much 3/4 court. Boston baseline jumper falls. That's the advantage with Mitchell guarding her. 11-0 run right now for Washington. Boston got that baseline, misses, gets her own. And
by the end, 5 different Fever players had scored in double figures, a rare balance in the WNBA, but exactly what this team needed. The numbers told the story. Washington turned the ball over 22 times, and Indiana turned those mistakes into 27 points.
Describe the locker room after the game today, just being able to sell. Well, we didn't make a TikTok, so I think everyone is just super excited. Like you said, it hasn't been a perfect road. And so for us, it's enjoying the little moments while at the same time understanding we have another game on Tuesday and then we have to prepare for the playoffs. But I think just being in the moment and being where our feet are and kind of just enjoying this one.
The Fever only gave it away 6 times, never letting the Mystics get momentum. It wasn't just the score, it was how Indiana crushed Washington's chances by making them pay for every error. Coach Stephanie White praised the group afterward, reminding them how complete the effort was: 5 players in double figures, defense locked in, and smart basketball from start to finish. So, who leads this team now with Caitlin Clark sidelined? The answer is clear: it's not just one player, but Aliyah Boston has become the heart of the team. After the win, she didn't just deliver on the court with her double-double, she delivered with her words too. Asked about the adversity and doubts this season, Boston said the team never lost belief. She
got a piece of glass for the finish there. Boston seal inside, comes right back for the finish.
Explained that the staff made the right choices bringing in players who fit the culture, and that inside the locker room, no one doubted they could still make the playoffs. For Boston, it was always about sticking together and playing with joy, no matter who was on the floor. Aliyah Boston showed why she's the anchor of this team, not just with her rebounds, but with her voice. Aliyah Boston has always been steady, but this season she's taken things to another level. Against the Mystics,